Hello and welcome to the Tabletop Games blog topic discussion. Tabletop player profile updated. It has been nearly a year since I last updated my tabletop player profile using the Quantic Foundry's online form, see link in the description. Let's see what has changed since December 2018. I've played a lot of games since then, so there must be some change. It is immediately clear that there's been a big change, not surprising given how long ago I took the last test. I've clearly moved away from cooperative games, given that this figure has dropped from 58% down to only 20%, and I would agree with that. I've started to look for games with more player interaction than I used to like. This trend is also reflected in the increase of the conflict figure from 17% to 37%. At the same time, my need for games with social manipulation has gone down from 74% to 58%, meaning that even though I now like more player interaction, I don't so much like manipulating players than I used to. I guess I want everyone to be able to see what's going on and make up their own mind about my plans and strategy. Speaking of which, my need for strategic games has almost doubled from 9 to 15%. I think it's quite true, and I'm really looking forward to playing more games where strategy is important from the start, and other players have the opportunity to interfere with your plans, forcing you to adapt and change tactics as necessary. Discovery has almost halved for me from 90 to 50%, so world exploration games are no longer high on my list. They are fun games, and there's at least one game on its way to me that is about world exploration, but they factor a lot lower in my list of games now than they used to. Immersion and aesthetics are completely unchanged. I guess I still want to have some level of being drawn into a game and enjoying its world, as well as play a game that looks good and has a great table presence. There seem to be more my core values that haven't changed in a year. So what is your attitude to playing games? Are you very competitive, or do you prefer cooperation? Do you like the social aspect of games and are more interested in exploring the world that the game resides in? Please post your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. It would be great to hear how others approach tabletop games. Thank you very much for listening to this Tabletop Games blog topic discussion. There is a written version of it on the blog. Please see the link in the description below. There you'll also find links to my Ko-fi and Patreon pages if you want to support me financially. Please also look at my Twitter feed and generally pass around the word of this blog and this podcast. I'd really appreciate it. The more people know, the better. If you are on Apple Podcasts, please also leave a review and leave some stars. But other than that, thanks very much for listening, and I hope to see you again soon. This podcast was made possible by my Patreon supporters: David Miller of Subquad Publishing, James Naylor of Naylor Games, Paul Grogan of Gaming Rules, Robin Kay of Ruined Sky Games, Sarah Reed of Undine Studios, Tim Vernick, and Richard Simpson of We're Not Wizards.